Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel, and today I thought I would take you guys on a journey um, of all of my debt. I'm currently working to become debt free and to become financially stable and not have to worry about any of these numbers that you see on this sheet. So, if you like this kind of content, finances, cash stuffing, budgeting, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. So, all of these debts, I can't really even remember the situation of how or why I just didn't pay off the debts. But as you can see, I have one, two, three, four credit cards and two different types of loans. Um, I'm 38 and I feel like I need to have my life together at this point. And so, my parents were out visiting me a couple months ago and just asked, how my savings for the future was going. And, I was kind of embarrassed. I said, well, I don't really have any. So that really kind of convicted me that I need to get my life together and, you know, get all this crap off of my credit report so I can, God forbid something happens to my car and I need a loan, that I'd be able to get approved for a loan and hopefully one day be able to buy a house. So so this first credit card is from 2021. I'm not going to give the type of credit card. It's just a regular credit card. I For all of these, I don't think the limits were very high, so I think a lot of this is interest that has accrued. But for this particular credit card, I'm going to be very honest with you. This was a priority for me to pay off first, even though I have this one down here with a really high balance. This one is newer, so I don't know my logic, but this one I had to get paid off because I actually got a phone call at my work because I am the office manager. I answer the phones and incoming calls, but it was a law firm trying to collect a debt, and I had a garnishment order on this balance, and so basically they were going to garnish it from my paycheck. Um, and I don't know the limits of how much they'd be able to take out per check in Arizona. I think it's up to 25%. But either way, that's not something I wanted to like tell my boss, like, hey, I have a wage garnishment order because I was irresponsible with my money. So after thinking about it, I had money set aside because I was planning on trying to pay this big one off first, which it doesn't really matter because all of these are in collections right now. So it is what it is. But after I got the phone call about this one, I used the money I had saved up to try to pay this one off, and I just called the law firm. I said, will you guys just accept a one-time payment of the balance?" Um, and they said yes, and I know you're supposed to get everything in writing from creditors, and they said they didn't do emails. They wouldn't put anything in writing. They did say that, once I paid this, they would mail me a payoff letter within 7 days. So I literally just paid this off. What's last last Thursday. I'm not sure when this is going to be uploaded, but it was towards the end of March. I paid this off, and so after that, they also said that they would send a or file a release of garnishment to the court, so there's no longer court order, which is scary, against my pay. So this was a priority for me to get paid off, and this is paid. So I do feel really good about that. The second credit card and this loan, these are from 2021 and 2023. Think I can't remember what I think this is the credit card. I think this is the loan, and I think for this loan and this one, they were not they were those type of loans, not a payday loan, but ones that have really high interest. And I can't remember why I decided I needed to take those loans out. So for this credit card and this loan, the total is $2,191. And I have these grouped together like this. and same for down here because they're with collection companies, and so I'm trying to just handle both of them at one time so I just can be done with it and I don't have to deal with them anymore. I did reach out to this particular collections agency in beginning of March, and they were willing to settle for 40%, so they would accept $960 instead of the 2,191. So at least I know that I have them down. They're willing to settle for this amount. Like I said, I had contacted the collections agencies at the same time for all four of these debts, and I was planning on, knocking out the big one and then, you know, one collection agency at a time. This is embarrassing. But like I said, this first one up here took priority. And so at least I know that they're willing to settle for 960, which is much better than almost $2,200. And then these other credit cards are from 2021. This I'm It's embarrassing, but I just didn't care all that much, I guess, back in 2021. Both of these have a combined balance of $1,509. And these are some of my oldest debts, and the collection agency was not willing to come down that much on these when I reached out in March. Uh, so 1,240, that's like 400 and 300 and some change that they came down. So I'm not, I don't know if this is the right attitude. This is so old. I'm not sure I'm willing to pay this much on this debt. And I know that I'm going to have to pay taxes on what's forgiven if I settle with these companies and this one. Um, that's fine. It's so old. I just can't see paying that much towards this, even though I'm going to have to pay for it anyway through taxes. That's fine. And then this last loan here, my second one, this is actually from 2024. The loan itself was not for this balance of 5,890. This loan, if I remember correctly, was 20 is either 2,000 or $2,500. So that's how much interest, got tacked on to this balance and inflated the balance. But I have reached out to this collection agency, and they're actually, I don't know why, but they're willing to settle for or take off 85%. So I'd be responsible for paying 15% of this balance, which puts what I would have to pay them at 884, which that I think this one is probably going to be my next one that I work towards paying off. It's between this one and this card and this loan up here. I mean, they came down pretty far as what the balance actually is owed and what they'll settle for. So I between this one, 18, a little less than I guess $2,000. And then I'll worry about this old one last and see if they'll come down anymore. So here are the totals. My total consumer debt at just these reported balances that are showing up on my credit report, $9,590. And then in student loans, goodness, 66,000, which was actually kind of upsetting because I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, so I did use my GI Bill for my most of my bachelor's degree. I think I had one semester that wasn't covered, like my benefits ran out, so I ended up having to take out loans for that last semester. And then this is for my master's degree. And kind of wish I kind of wish that I had not gotten my master's degree. I'm on the fence, but this is the balance that I have for my student loans. I'm not in a super rush to pay these off. I would rather pay off all these consumer debts first. Because this one ain't going anywhere, and this is current. The status is good. It's in good standing. So just gonna pay the $290 a month for now until I can get some of this other stuff cleared up. So total consumer debt 9,590 plus the 66K. It's almost $76,000 in debt that I have to get rid of. But the good news is, between these three collections agencies, roughly, this is what they'd be willing to settle for between the three. And this is much more manageable, I think, and it doesn't seem quite so daunting. It's still a lot of money, and I will have to pay the taxes on what's forgiven, but I just want to get this stuff cleared up off my credit report so I don't have to worry about it, and have access to lines of credit if I need it. Like I said, if I were to get in a car accident, I need a new car, or I don't know, I would like to buy a house. Just that's not really quite in the cards yet. I need to get this stuff cleaned up first. So, yeah, that's a quick rundown, and these are real numbers. This is straight from my credit report and the collections agencies. This is what I'm got to get cleaned up. My goal, I think, what are we in, April? I was able to save up this 15,065 or 50, sorry, $1,565. I was able to save that up in about 3 months. And anything extra that was left over from my cash wallets, and each week or each pay period, I would put anything I could towards my debt sinking fund. So I was able to pay that off. So I'm hoping for this, if I really just don't spend everything that's in my wallet every time I get paid, I can put extra towards the 600 a month that I'm already putting aside, and hopefully have this paid off in short order. But yeah, that's it. That's the full rundown of my debt. Um, Thank you so much for watching. It's quite embarrassing. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Um, yeah, I will keep you guys updated on the status of these. Right now, I just did my cash stuffing. I'm not sure which order these are going to come out in, but right now I have 300 in that sinking fund, so I have a little ways to go. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated. Again, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.